Stop.
What is up, everybody? Technical difficulties aside.
You think it's week 14, right? For the NFL season that we'd have it already. This stupid program is the problem here.
Oh, you know what it is, Bender? You missed one show, and Johnny Pemba steps in here. He's got the comments on the screen. He's moving stuff around. That's what happens, dude. The studio gets all out of whack, dude. That's why we got to keep it 100 here at Fantasy Alarm. We're here every day, 1 o'clock. So what's up, everybody? Welcome on in. Typically what we do on today's show, for those that have tuned in before, for those that are new, welcome on in, dude. It always goes this smoothly at the start.
Always.
So usually we do a little DFS talk. We do a little trade talk. But, obviously a lot of the leagues have the trade deadline already. A lot of leagues don't have trade deadlines, and they're dynasty leagues where you can trade all year. So if you're in one of those, feel free to throw questions out there. We'll hit them. But we figured, we could have some extra time today without as much trade talk going on. So we're also going to hit on some playoff matchups, just the top ones essentially to avoid and some of the top ones to target. Now, before we get into any of that, I just want to make sure that people are kind of clear on how to deal with playoff matchups, right? For us, there are a lot of players that are above the line. I do not care if Jamar Chase is going up against the single best team in the league. In terms of pass defense, we're starting that guy. So It really only applies to kind of start sit level guys. Also, a huge number of these teams are matchups we don't care about. In my tight end article, I rank them into 5 different categories. And the biggest category is down the middle. Because those are ones where you don't know how they're going to utilize their players. You don't know how they're going to move guys around. It's not a end-all be-all matchup. There are some at the top and the bottom, though, that we have a huge sample size where they are really shutting down certain positions and they're scheming towards it and everything's lining up that way and they have the personnel. We're going to avoid some of those teams where we can. So we're going to go over all that today. Before we get to any of that, Bender, got to ask you, waivers ran yesterday. Did you make any last-minute moves to juice up the teams for playoffs? Who'd you drop to make it happen?
Well, so it's kind of funny. I have like 3 leagues that run waivers on Tuesday nights, one of which I've locked into the playoffs completely, the other of which I'm way out of the playoffs, and so be it. That's the way it goes. The third one, I'm right there on the bubble, right? And if I win, I think I'm in. I mean, I might need a little bit of help, but I think if I win, I'm in. Here's the problem, is that I had 40% of my team on a bye this week.
Ooh.
And there's only a 3-person bench. Ooh. So while waivers are actually better than your average 12-team league where people have like a 5 or a 6-player bench, it's still a nightmare because then you got to figure out who you're dropping, right? Do I drop Rico Dowdle? Do I drop Chuba Hubbard? Do I drop Stephon Diggs? Do I drop Jawan Jennings? Right? I mean, do I drop Theo Johnson? This is the problem that I was going through. But I'll tell you what, and this is something for anybody who's got waivers that are going to run tonight. You never know who's paying attention and who's not paying attention. You really don't. And I had all these people on bye, and so I ended up having to make all of these roster moves, right? And I set up contingency plans and whatever, and I landed Jordan Mason, Adonai Mitchell, Darren Waller at tight end. I ended up picking up all of these guys, and then I came back and I was like, all right, let me adjust. I need a linebacker now. Now I need a team defense, and I didn't use waivers for that, but I set up like a full run because I had the 7th waiver priority, and I was like, I have to legitimately set it up like in full flux like that. And lo and behold, I nailed like a bunch of the guys who I absolutely needed. and it puts me in a really good spot to actually win this week and find my way into the playoffs. I'm nervous, but I'm ready.
Yeah, that's what's crazy about this particular week in the bye weeks, the way they hit here after no team were on bye last week. Like I had a team, this is a team, 14-team league. I'm in first place. I'm playing the team in second place. And if he beats me, then he gets the bye. So I need to win this one to get that bye week. Only one bye week in this league. And going through my team in this particular one, my quarterback was Drake May. My tight end's Hunter Henry. My other tight end's Dalton Kincaid, may or may not play. My defense is the Patriots, and I also have Christian McCaffrey. So I had to basically, that's my whole bench now. Like all my 4 guys, I can't drop those players. They go on my bench, and I had to drop basically my whole bench. Blake Corum. I dropped Devin Singletary, and the kid in 4th place picked him up at like 4:45 this morning. Like I swear, some of these guys, this league's been going on for 25 years. He probably looked at my team and knew guys were hitting the wire, dude. So just something you got to do what you got to do though, because like here's the thing: the reality of the bye week is that I can win. If I win this week, I win next week. If I lose this week, I have to play next week. I can win 2 matchups. If you really think about it, it's worth 2. This week's worth 2 matchups for me. So I had to make those drops. I had to make those moves because I got to win this matchup. So you got to do what you got to do, folks. Let us know here in the comments what you might need to do. And as always, the people that are members of the YouTube channel that hit that join button, you get priority. So why don't we jump in, see what the members are saying first. B. Bernhard was in here before everybody else saying happy Wednesday, fam. Happy Wednesday. Next up, though, Raider Dave. By the way, we found out yesterday, folks, that how to change your user handle back. Kangas Man figured it out. You have to go into settings. I don't know why they reset it, but if you go into settings, you can change your name back. I know that Death Wish and everybody else was trying to figure out how to do that. So you can change it back, folks, when you get a chance after the show. 2:05 p.m. Need one flex. Terry McLaurin, Michael Wilson, Jacoby Myers, RJ Harvey, or Godwin. My goodness. We got some ballers here. Yeah.
I mean, that's a tough one there, really, because I like McLaurin's matchup, right? And he's back to being the number 1 target there for Marcus Mariota, if we're saying his name properly now. It sounds like Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be out again now with this heel issue. So Michael Wilson kind of pops up, but it's not a great matchup against the Rams. No. I kind of feel like RJ Harvey might be the one that I want to use here going up against the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, I need a big week out of Bo Nix in this passing attack, but I mean, I think RJ Harvey is definitely the one to play.
I think it's got to be Harvey right now because like McLaurin and Wilson are close. And the thing with McLaurin, yes, he got 14 targets, but they threw 54 times. They dropped back to pass 54 times. So like that's not always going to roll out that way. So I'd go Harvey. And I'm a big Godwin fan. He did look better this week, but just so you guys know, he didn't play the full game still. He played a little more than Tez Johnson, but he wasn't running routes. Emeka Egbuka ran 34, Godwin ran 23, and Tez ran 29. So we're hoping this week he goes back to full steam ahead, but he's not quite there yet. You got too many good options here, Raider Dave. Fatty McFats says Wednesday. You know what that means? It means we're going to screw up the intro. 10-team PPR. I have Chase, Najigba, Rice, JMO. That's pretty good. Do I put JMO in the flex for the matchup? I mean,
no, you okay. Like I go through this with a ton of people here. It doesn't matter that, Chase and Najigba are your automatic starters. What you have to do is you have to put JMO into a starting position if you're going to use him against Dallas. You have to put him in to one of your starting spots just in case. Like what happens if Chase gets hurt? Exactly. What happens if Najigba pulls up with a hamstring issue? Or worse, how about Sam Darnold with whatever this ankle issue is suddenly, aggravates it and gets ruled out.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because you got so many times I've seen people do that. I've done it myself where I just looked at my lineup briefly and didn't realize the guy was in the flex. And then when the weekend rolls around and I realize I want to take the wide receiver out of my lineup, the best option I have in the bench is a running back, can't pivot. So put JMO in there. And Jim, let us know in the comments is that a 2 wide receiver league or a 3 wide receiver league? Like, is the question JMO versus Rice? Is that the question here? Because with ARSB nicked up, all of a sudden that is a real question. So let us know in the comments if it's 2 wide receivers or 3 in this league. What up, Angie? What up, Rod? We got the gang here. Here we go, Bender. Question of the week. I have Lamar. Who's the better backup, Darnold or T-Law? And would you consider those guys over Lamar, who clearly not healthy?
Yeah, I mean it's such a tough spot to be in here. And when you look at the matchup, it's Pittsburgh, but the Ravens are at home. It is must win. Both teams are vying for it.
I think it's going too far.
You know what it is?
Those guys are just too far for me.
I mean, I love Sam Darnold. I really do. And I think that Darnold is in he's in a fine spot here. Atlanta, though, has a tough pass defense. They're kind of weak against the slot, and you'll probably see JSN sitting in the slot a ton, and he'll get that work. But I mean, do I really want to, am I that guy who puts Trevor Lawrence into my starting lineup and against a tough secondary like Indianapolis in favor and put Lamar on the bench? I can't do it personally. To me, I'll say this, and this is what I've said to everybody who has asked me about benching Lamar. I personally will not bench Lamar unless I have another top 5 quarterback to go in there. Everybody else, Darnold, Lawrence, Tua, Tyrod Taylor, CJ Stroud, I'm not starting any of those guys over Lamar Jackson. That's my personal take. If it's my team, I'm starting Lamar. If you guys can't handle that, then you have to make your own decision on this one. I've said my piece enough.
Right. It's our job to give our advice. And I'll tell you, I was the same boat, Bender. I did my rankings, right? And I put, which are up on the website now if you need them, at Fantasy Alarm. Become a member today if you want to get our rankings here. We'll even put a little QR code. Is the Cyber Monday sale down? Is Cyber Week?
Whole week, right? Monday's still going on, baby.
Okay. So in Pemba, there were a lot of people a lot of new Fantasy Alarm members that joined. We love having you guys part of the family. So in Pemba, gracious enough to say, okay, if people wanted this deal for all the 2026, we're going to keep it going. So just for the rest of the week here, if you use CM50, you get a 50% off, and it goes for this one goes just like the other one, right? Around or
to the end of 2026. So it's a year and a month.
A year and a month. So become a member now, and I do the rankings every single week, every position, including kicker and defense. For PPR, full PPR, half PPR, those are up on the site. And I went through and I basically said the same thing Bender did. Maybe I might have gone a little bit farther than you. Let me ask on a couple of these. So I immediately put in Josh Allen, Dak Prescott in this shootout game, Jalen Hurts in there, Matthew Stafford in there, Patrick Mahomes, right? Mm-hmm. Ahead of Lamar. Then I looked at I put Joe Burrow in there too, because Joe Burrow looked good to me. Then I looked at some matchups. I actually did put Goff in there versus the Cowboys on Thursday over Lamar. Would you go there?
I'm not 100% sure that I would do that, simply because I think the Cowboys are going to get their run defense really tested here. I think that, with Gibbs and Montgomery, the lack of Amon-Ra St. Brown, the lack of Khalif Raymond, the lack of Sam Laporta kind of changes things up a little bit for me. I would say, for me, Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford, Joe Burrow,
Mahomes.
Okay. Although Mahomes going up against Houston this week, and that's not a great matchup either. So
with the way Lamar has looked in the injury, I actually do have a couple other guys I'd be willing to go with. The way Jacoby Brissett's been playing. I mean, he's throwing for 300 yards every single week, man. Every single week now. I at this stage would go there. And the other one I'd consider, and again, I would, if anyone wanted to start Lamar over him, I would be absolutely fine with that. But Jordan Love against this Bears team, I kind of like that matchup. But yeah, I did exactly like you did. Right when I got to Trevor Lawrence, I said no. And I like Trevor Lawrence this week in DFS. But right when I got to him, I was like, no, I'm not going Trevor Lawrence. I'm not starting Bo Nix, even against the Raiders. Daniel Jones has hurt himself. I'm not going Caleb. Even Caleb Williams, I'm not going with him over Lamar Jackson. Can't do it. And then you get into the rest of the group where, Justin Herbert's also hurt. I'm not going to start guys like Daniel Jones and Justin Herbert who are also hurt over Lamar because he's hurt. If I'm going to start a hurt quarterback, it's going to be Lamar. So that's where I draw the line. I'm with you. He's still a top 10 option. And so
before you move on with that, pop that QR code there. I just want to say one more thing here about the Cyber Week sale for everybody, because I got this question actually, like, what if I'm only a football person, right? And can I cancel? Can I get this deal and can I cancel it after the Super Bowl? You 100% can, 100%. But do you want to? Like, that's the thing, is like, and I got to stress that. Because the fantasy football offseason, how long is it? It's really not that long, because when you think about it, the draft is in April. Okay, we're going to have a bunch of, content, like paywall content.
My best ball cheat sheet came out last year, I think in like March.
Yeah.
The first version of it, I think, came out in March.
And all the best ball stuff that we invite you guys to, that's members only. So that's not, we're not like just kind of throwing it out there and saying, like, even if you're just a football person, we make it worth your while with the amount of off-season football coverage, the best ball cheat sheet, all the best ball contests that we run specifically in there. And then, you know what? I mean, listen, if you're a bettor or you're a DFS player, our NBA, NHL, and MLB teams, absolutely spectacular as well. So maybe you expand your portfolio a little bit. But if you get it and you cancel at the end of the Super Bowl, then you're missing out not only on the best ball cheat sheet, but you're going to end up paying full price for the NFL draft guide and then the entire start of the NFL season next year. So there is no deal in fantasy sports that's better than what we've got right now. 50% off the monthly. It's less than $20 a month, and that's season-long DFS, betting, draft guides, cheat sheets, and obviously the Discord access. Because this show here, this doesn't happen during the off season. We don't do these free shows here for everybody in the off season.
No, we get in the nitty gritty, and we have draft props, all that stuff. And hey, if there's a lot of people, I also always forget to mention, you are a member and you enjoy it here. Christmas is coming up. Why not get it as a gift for somebody and get them into the family and say, hey, why don't you come in, join the family and check it out? We have fun here. Get people involved. Give the gift that keeps on giving. Let's see. We have a few more member questions here, and then we'll jump up to the top and hit a few of those. We do have a super chat that came in, so let's get that up and running for
Scott Kobe. What's up, dude?
Yeah, need a wide receiver off the wire, Dortch or Isaac Tesla?
Oh,
that's an interesting one. How are you feeling about it, Bender?
I'm going Isaac Tesla here. Again, no Amon-Ra, no Khalif Raymond. In two receiver sets, you're going to, and no Sam Laporta. So in two receiver sets, you're going to see Tesla on the field opposite JMO. And if JMO's going to, grab that like heavy coverage against Dallas.
Yeah, I'm in for it. Why not? Why not go big? Because, Greg Dortch, even when Marvin Harrison was out, he wasn't really setting the world on fire. So Carson Steele Panther here. Made the playoffs after starting 1-4. Trust and believe. If I win playoff game, I'm buying a chain. Why not give a shout out to our boys there with the chain?
Come on now. Well, I gotta get rid of this cat.
We can get all the promos out all at once now, thanks to Carson Steele Panther popping in there.
Carson Steele Panther, what's up, dude?
Yeah, why not hit it all right now, and then we'll get into the important stuff. Yeah, so we got a deal for you guys. We whenever there's something we like, we try and set something up for you guys, whether it's DraftKings or Underdog or whatever. And Howard and I met Maddie at was it FSGA or FSW?
FSGA, yeah.
FSGA. And he's like, look, he goes, I'm bringing these high quality sports chains made in America, lightweight, but they look badass. And they're 20% cheaper than any other place. And we were like, dude, we love them. We obviously got involved. And then they set us up with a QR code here and a promo, 5% off anybody that uses promo code ALARM. Absolutely awesome deal. He extended it through the rest of the holidays too. So get a gift for your whole league, not just you. I know if you win, it's the perfect time to buy it because then you get to wear it for a year. But it's a gift for the entire league, like get it. And whoever wins this year, show up to the draft and say, hey, I got this for everybody. But it goes to the champion this year. Whoever wins gets to rock it for the year. it's something cool to go with. I mean, I got it for my league, even though we have a trophy, because what's better than having a trophy and a damn chain, right? So we're showing up and we're balling out. Pretty cool over there at USA Sports Fan Chains. Hit that QR code now and jump over there and grab one. Again, a gift that you can get for 10 to 12 people, the whole league. So pretty awesome. They also have them for different sports, baseball, everything. And soon enough, they have the loser chains coming with the toilet on them. If you already have a trophy and you don't want another thing for the winner, well, get something to make the loser wear. It's all in good fun, but it is definitely funny to make the loser wear the toilet chain at the draft.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And listen, if you're not zapping that QR code, you can always go to fantasyalarm.com/USA chains. And yeah, use that promo code alarm. It's 5% off. Plus, first 1,300 purchases get tax free. So It actually ends up being more like a 10 to 12% discount here now through the holidays. And wow, like Coop said, these are I love these, man. I love these.
I was just talking to Maddie.
I wore this into the bedroom last night.
3-second champ. I just talked to talked to Maddie the other day because he showed me how to adjust them. They're actually adjustable because Lainey wanted to wear it, so I took some links out briefly for her to rock it for a bit. So yeah, you can adjust them. They're pretty cool, man. So, and he also said they have not hit the 1,300 number, so it is tax free for a little bit longer. So jump in on that and get all set up there, man. Get set up and look dope because I mean that's what fantasy football is really all about. It's about winning, talking trash, looking dope. It's everything, man. A couple more questions from members, and then we'll jump back in. Based on the picture here, I believe this is Mojo, even though it doesn't say that, Bender. Troy Franklin, Michael Pittman, Michael Wilson, and this is a standard league, which favors Michael Pittman a little bit. Just need to start one of them.
Michael Pittman. Yeah, I mean, listen, if he's going to get the, I love the matchup here. Jacksonville secondary is not strong.
Tough matchups are done for Pittman. He had 2 terrible matchups in a row, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in on this one. I'm going Pittman here. I'm not scared of 2 down weeks. I mean, he scored a touchdown in one of those games. He's been scoring touchdowns left and right. Jim says yes. Oh, so the question is between JMO and Rice. And that all of a sudden is a spicy question. I mean, you should probably win the league for those of your wide receivers, but anyway. I have JSN ranked 1. So it was JSN and Chase. I have JSN ranked 1. I have Chase ranked 2. So those guys are in your lineup. I have Rashee Rice ranked 6 and JMO ranked 7. But you could convince me to go JMO over Rice because Rice has the Texans.
Rice does have the Texans. Man. I just knowing the targets that Rice sees, knowing how they move him all over the field, I kind of feel like I might have to just lean on Rice, even though it's not a great matchup. But, they move him around so much that he's not going to see Stingley the entire time. Stingley's not going to shadow him.
Right.
And if Stingley even thinks about shadowing him early, they're going to end up shooting like Xavier Worthy downfield. You'll release, Marquise Brown. So I look at this one here and I say I'm gonna stick with Rice. I think that he's still a top 5 wide receiver this week, even though it's a not a great matchup.
It would be the most Jameson Williams thing ever to disappoint us this week, wouldn't it?
Don't say that, dude. Don't say that. I'm in another must-win situation where I have JMO, McCaffrey's on a bye, May's on a bye, so I need him to show up, Coop. So don't put that. You don't put that voodoo on me there, Ricky Bobby.
Amon Ross says he wants to play. He says he's going to play Lamar or Burrow. I'm going Burrow. Like Lamar, I just got to see him healthy. and then I'll go back. If he comes out, if he were to come out today and say, hey, by the way, I feel 100%, I have no limitations, I would go back to ranking him top 5. If he even would just say that. But he doesn't look healthy. He hasn't been practicing for weeks. He had a hamstring, he had a knee, now he's got this toe thing. I don't know. If you got Burrow, then play Burrow.
Yeah, I agree.
In most cases, we're just going to start Lamar. I'd rather go to the loony bin with Lamar as my starter than mess around and start Darnold and lose the league that way. But if you have another star, then go there. Do you like Waller or Pitts as a fill-in for Kittle this week? I'm riding Pitts, man. As long as Julian Love is out, because Pitts showed up. Pitts showed up last week.
He did show up, but I did hear that Julian Love is expected to be activated here for week 14. That was the last update because I put out the DFS watch list this morning, and that was one of the things that I was looking at was that matchup. So if Julian Love is in, well, then I'm off of Pitts, even though again,
would you be off of him all the way down to where Waller is?
I don't really think that Waller should be that far down going up against the Jets. The Jets rank like bottom 5 in DVOA and covering the tight end position. You're going to have, you've got this secondary that's taken all sorts of hits in personnel. It's Jalen Waddle and it's Darren Waller. I mean, those are your two primary pass catchers here for Miami. I know you don't want to invest in a guy like Tua, but I think if Pitts is going to get that, if he's going to go back to his normal snap share, which is like 60%, I know he was less than 50% this past week, but I think that was like a nice little way to ease him back in. I'm saying Waller over Pitts.
Waller, actually, the thing about the snap share bender, this is a plus for Waller, is that when you break it down into the route participation and the pass plays, they kept him out for a lot of run plays. He actually ran 69% of the routes. I mean, like right there, close to 70% where he used to live before the injury. I'm keeping my chain on, dude. These things cool.
I got to take mine off because I got a very large feline here who's trying to bully her way up into my lap again.
I'm keeping mine on. So yeah, I have Pitts at 7, Juwan Johnson at 8, Brenton Strange at 9, Waller at 10. If Julian Love plays, I might move Pitts below Waller. But Roddy, tune back in on Thursday. I'm going to update all the rankings, get all that posted. You at least have until Thursday for that information for us.
2 weeks ago on this show, Coop, you said if Pitts doesn't deliver, then you're off of him, and you're already back to him.
He delivered though.
He had one game. No, not 2 weeks ago. Last week he ended up with like a decent number there because there was no Drake London. We also have to wonder if Drake London's going to be back or not.
If London's back, then it's an easy question. It's
easy.
If London's back, then
quit him, dude.
If London's back, it's not a debate. If London's back, it's not a debate.
Kyle Pitts is that abusive boyfriend that you just keep going back to because you don't know.
Even in the bad games, he's still getting 5 targets. I'm just saying. Any news on Jaden Daniels? I'd rather play him than Justin Herbert. No, not yet. I do think Daniels, when he's healthy, will play, and I think that's probably the fault of Joe Burrow coming out and saying all the things that he said about, I'm a football player. When I'm healthy, I'm going to play. So I think he will play, but I'd like to see one game before I use him. Remember, question here from Raider Dave. I did the math. Football season is about 6 months. August draft to February Super Bowl. 50% off promo each month is the same price for the year for what you pay just for football. That's true, Raider Dave. Like, this is really the time of year we offer this. Not to mention, I mean, like, the people that get it, if you play Dynasty, we have so much Dynasty content, the Dynasty rankings, all that stuff going. We got the best ball stuff. We have the draft. You're going to want to be around for all that stuff. It's again, you can't cancel if you want. So you get to make that call for yourself. But at least you give yourself the opportunity to get a really good deal and be involved. Fred Card says 12-team half PPR, Vele and Pat Bryant. Who should be wide receiver 3? I am in on Pat Bryant, but Vele also be getting all the looks too. Should I drop one of them for Saints D? Browns is my D this week, or just stream rest of the playoffs? I don't know. Browns D is great. They're a great defense. And I don't know, the Saints, I have no real usage for the Saints. So I wouldn't drop them for the Saints. If you had to start one this week, though, Bailey or Pat Bryant? I love Pat Bryant in DFS. I love his price this week.
Yeah, I mean, his price in DFS is great, but, you're still talking about a guy who is behind, he's behind Cortland Sutton. He's behind Troy Franklin.
Not behind Troy Franklin this week.
Not this week. Well, Evan Engram was ahead of everybody this past week.
So Pat, the thing with Pat Bryant, Bender, is that all year long he's been a better run blocker. Mm-hmm. Despite Troy Franklin playing 150 more snaps on the season, Pat Bryant actually has played more run snaps on the year. And this past week, after coming out of the bye week, I don't know if here's why I go Vele, is that we don't know if it's going to stick. But for this week, they used Bryant over Franklin. And Franklin only played on 2 designed run plays. And on one of those run plays, he blew his block and his man made the tackle. I think Troy Franklin's got a bit of a drop and blocking issue here. I'm going Vele just because he is the clear wide receiver too. He's got 7 and 8 targets the last 2 weeks. but I'm trying to stash Bryant wherever I can. So having him on your team, I like that move. I'm a little nervous for Troy Franklin, to be honest. I'm a little nervous.
Are you?
I am all of a sudden, which is
you?
crazy because the guy leads the team in targets on the season. I hate it's Sean Payton, man. He's such a, I don't want to say dick, but like he is a dick. Like if you screw up,
it's fine.
If you screw up, he just throws you on under the bus. And like Troy Franklin, I guess, has been missing some blocks, couple drops, and maybe this game was just to teach him a lesson. But very annoying because I have a lot of Troy Franklin, and now I'm kind of in a weird spot.
I actually have a lot of Pat Bryant in best ball.
Me too.
A lot of late shares of Pat Bryant in best ball.
Yeah, I think I have like 7%, which for me is like $400. I overdid it this year. But hey, you know what? I'm doing all right. McLaughlin or McPherson for a kicker this week. Let me just double check. I have them both top 10 for sure. I have McLaughlin at 7 and McPherson right around 10. So go McLaughlin against the Saints.
Yeah.
And I think that's it for member questions. Folks, as a reminder, we hit on all the member questions. We're going to hit on the rest of them when we get an opportunity here. And we always do, so just put them in there and hang tight. Before we get to that, though, do you want to just hit on some DFS? You want to hit on some matchups for playoffs? Where do you want to go, Ben?
Listen, you lead, I'll follow, man. I'll talk about whatever. Like I said, I put out the watch list earlier today. So that's available over at fantasyalarm.com. I like hitting these questions here and not letting them pile up too crazy.
Okay,
but
let's hit the questions then. Let's hit the questions. Angie, what's popping? Let's see what do we got here. Would you start JMO if Amon sits or Nico Collins? Also Goff or Stafford? I mean, if JMO's out, if Amon-Ra's out, I'm starting JMO against the Cowboys. You got to.
Right? I mean, I am too, but I mean, over Collins?
Yeah.
That's kind of a different, difficult situation there. I love Nico Collins. I really do. Like who are your other, I need to know who your other wide receivers are.
Right.
That you're looking at it this way here, because I need to see who else you're starting ahead of Nico Collins.
I mean, for me, I have JMO ranked 8 and Collins, assuming Amon-Ra's out, ranked 8 and Collins ranked 9. So I just love the situation for JMO here versus the Cowboys with being the top dog, the undisputed top dog. Like I'll start Rice and Pickens and Devontae Adams ahead, but I mean, it's just a really good spot.
Not just like 10 minutes ago say something about, wouldn't it be so JMO to just rug pull us like that? Like that's, again, this is one of those things where, you see a guy who pops on a primetime game like Thanksgiving and everybody's in on him again, but nobody's talking about the fact that he zeroed out in 2 of the 4 weeks prior to that.
Well, so here's the thing. If Nico, like if you switch them and JMO was going up against Trent McDuffie, which is what Nico's got, and Nico was going up against the Cowboys, then I would have Nico ranked there. It's just the matchup for me is a big part of it.
Dude, I'll take Nico in man coverage all day, every day. He dominated. I even said that about that was why I used Nico last week in DFS, and I said this to everybody who was in the playbook. Since the Colts turned around and they added Sauce Gardner and they added and they got back Charvarius Ward, Lou Anarumo started running a ton more man coverage than he did zone. And Nico Collins dominates man coverage. And look what he did last week.
He had a good game. Caught like 5 passes. Really great. But
over 100 yards.
98.
Oh, did he have 98? Oh, sorry.
No, he had over 100 when you count the rushing yards. He had an end around too. So he did have over 100 yards on a technicality. But you're right. Nico's awesome. I mean, dude, we're talking about guys that like, but the question is Rashee Rice versus Nico Collins versus JMO. It's like, you can't go wrong. Your team's awesome. You're going to be fine. But like, I don't know. I like to lean in the matchups. You're right. If you want to play it safe, just go Nico. Carson Steele, we hit that. Kitty cat alert. Look out now. The cat whisperer in the house.
Yes.
All right. Well, since we have a DFS question, this is a good opportunity to talk DFS now. Right?
Sure.
We got Andrew Jeffrey opening the door for us. Yeah.
My favorite stack for the week. I hate my favorite stack for the week.
What is it?
I hate my favorite stack with a passion. Tyrod Taylor, right? Jet stack. I got Tyrod Taylor with Adonai Mitchell, and then you can either go with John Mechie or Breece Hall. Either one of them works. Breece Hall is active in the passing game as well. And I hate myself for it because wouldn't that just be the ultimate rug pull there again of using a jet stack here in my single entry GPP and getting knocked out? But the money that it saves you, that it allows you to kind of do stuff like that. I mean, I think that's because everybody's going to be in on Cincinnati Buffalo. Everybody's going to be in on that, and I'm sure that we're going to see a lot of Stafford against the Rams. So for single entry, I mean, I'm kind of leaning in that direction there for the Jets. I hate myself for it, but I think I might be.
Yeah, I mean, it is intriguing play. I mean, because Adonai Mitchell, you have to leave room for the possibility that they just weren't on the same page. I mean, and Justin Fields started that first game, so maybe what we saw this week is what we're going to see, or maybe he goes right back in the bottle. But in DFS, those are the kind of moves you got to make. You got to give yourself a shot at upside, and that's where we're going. The thing is, I like the price on Trevor Lawrence. I have no idea who to use him with. I kind of like stacking up Jordan Love with Christian Watson and just kind of shooting the moon there, and then kind of throwing in whoever as the other guy, Dontavian Wicks or whatever, and going that way. So I like that. Who are some other plays you like? I love the price on Chase Brown this week. If I'm in he's been very good. Like for fantasy, he's been rock solid. And with Burrow back, that team could end up in a positive game script here. It's against Buffalo, but you can run on Buffalo. So
you can run on Buffalo. I've got Chase Brown in the DFS watch list. The one caveat is obviously Samaje Perine.
I know.
And how much work they're giving him. I wrote that article in the Weekly Bender this week over on RT Sports. I don't think I tweeted that. I'm gonna have to tweet that one out, talking about how at the playoff time, like at the fantasy playoff time, it's the worst time where all of these teams are now utilizing all of these secondary guys. Yeah. Right? You're seeing more Blake Corum in place of Kyron Williams. You're seeing, Samaje Perine inside the 5 going up against, instead of Chase Brown. You're seeing Bashaw Tutin in front of Travis Etienne. Like all of a sudden now, all of these like secondary backs are starting to get this red zone work at just such an inopportune time. So I do love Chase Brown, but I am a little nervous about Samaje Perine.
Yeah, you're right. I keep looking at Monongai and Swift and just my Swift. And like Swift is doing well for me, so I can't really complain. But I'm like, Swift could have had 200 yards today. You know what I mean? It's like it does hurt.
You know who I kind of like this week also? I like Jordan Mason.
Yeah.
I think Jordan Mason going up against Washington is in a really good spot. And if Greg Martinez is here, I'm sorry, buddy, but let's face it, you guys started off as like a top 5 run defense, and systematically it has just declined to the point where you rank 21 in DVOA against the run, and you're giving up like the 5th or 6th most rushing yards per game. If Aaron Jones is going to be out with this shoulder issue, or if even he's going to be limited with this shoulder issue, if you're bringing in JJ McCarthy, you're going to have to lean heavily on the run. So I kind of like Jordan Mason in this one.
Yeah, that AC joint is you don't run a guy with an AC joint between the tackles, right? Like if Aaron Jones plays, he's going to be playing like Justice Hill, just pass work and all that, because like that's an injury where contact is very painful. If Dalton Kincaid plays, I don't care. I'm using him against the Bengals. I'm saying that right now. Redraft, DFS, doesn't matter. Bengals are the stone worst team I've seen against the tight end this year since I've been doing this. I went back and looked, Bender. The most recent team to let up a ton of points to the tight end in DFS was the Jets in 2020. They let up 18 points a game, 18 flat, right? And the Jaguars this year are letting up 17.6. We'd be talking about the Jaguars as a team that's terrible against the tight end. The Bengals are letting up 23.6. It is like insane how far behind everyone else they are. It is wild. So you got to go there. And I also mentioned earlier, Pat Bryant's the guy I'm looking at just to see if last week sticks. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And that's why redraft scares me. But in DFS, you got to play with no fear. What if Pat Bryant, after coming out of the bye week, is just going to play more snaps than Troy Franklin? I throw 3,400. I'm going to go there a little bit.
What are the chances of Dalton Kincaid playing this week? Or are we kind of worried that he doesn't? And if he doesn't, do you give look to Dawson Knox? Do you look at Jackson Hawes as like a dart throw one-off?
Both of them, because Isaiah Likely had a good game last week too. You know what I mean? Like every team knows what you do against this team. They let up 11 receptions to the tight end last week. Isaiah Likely should have scored a touchdown. They should actually be letting up more points versus the tight end. Isaiah Likely fumbled at the 1-inch line. It should be like 24 points per game. There should have been another touchdown on there. I mean, like, it's just crazy. Everyone knows what to do against this team, and everyone's doing it, even bad tight ends. So, yeah, both of them would be on the radar for me. Absolutely. Jackson Hawes, too. Why not? Who cares? So, yeah. You called it on Mark Andrews and Likely. It should have worked. Likely fumbled it, fumbled through the end zone. It was stupid. But Andrews caught some balls, too. So, I'm going there. For sure. Anybody else you want to mention before we jump back into questions?
No, let's just hit the questions there. You guys can check out the DFS watch list over there at fantasyalarm.com.
Yeah, here we go. This is a crazy one. You got to give us another name. If you're going to throw this one out there, you got to give us one other name to say, like, would you start Mike Evans or so-and-so?
Yeah.
Because, you know what I mean? Like, anybody with a pulse actually might be the right answer, but you got to give us one other name. Yeah, Herbert's day-to-day. The thing about pain, I don't even think it's pain tolerance, Tyler, because we've seen Herbert play through injury. I think what's going to determine whether he plays is, can he take a snap? Can he hand off the ball, right? If you can't hand the ball off without fumbling it because you got some contraption on your hand, then that's going to be the difference. Because that guy's a dog, right? He would just play if it was pain tolerance thing.
Yeah, I think he would play with the pain tolerance thing. But again, yeah, you saw with Aaron Rodgers. He was like,
can he hold the ball? If if he's fumbling the ball in practice, then they're going to hold him out. The best ball cheat sheet. I got a couple compliments from folks on Reddit that grabbed it too, saying that this one guy, I was kind of like, he was like, "Oh, best ball cheat sheet's awesome." I'm like, "Oh, how you doing?" He sent me his advance rate, and I was like, "Damn, were we using the same cheat sheet?" Like, my advance rate's good. Anything over 17%, like putting teams through, is good, and mine's like 23. He said his was like 35 or something. I was like, what? He played on DraftKings. I was doing I'm like, I guess I got to play on DraftKings, man. We did some DraftKings, but he like maxed it. He's putting like 45 teams through out of 150 on DraftKings. So
it's like listening to Josh Wagner, our producer at SiriusXM, talking about popping mushrooms before he goes into his draft, and he used the cheat sheet, and he's like, I've got Christian McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor and Jackson Smith-Njigba, and I've got Rashid. And I'm like, how the hell did you put this wagon together?
Know what? You know why? Because when I draft my teams, I start doing weird stuff. Like, if I just drafted off my own damn cheat sheet, then my team would be better. I get in there and I'm like looking at, I'm like, oh, what if this happens? And I mix it up. I should do? I should plug my rankings in and just auto draft next year. Who do you think is bigger upside, Montgomery or Monongai? So Montgomery's got the Cowboys, Monongai's got the Packers. I think that kind of answers that question. Yeah.
Does it though?
I mean, Monongai's playing more than Monty, right?
He is.
You lean the matchup of the playing time.
And you know what? We've seen the Packers get beaten up on the ground before. They've got a great pass rush for sure. But I don't know, man. I feel like Monongai might have a little bit more. I mean, because listen, I'll take Jahmyr Gibbs over DeAndre Swift all day, every day, and I think that's one of the reasons that holds Montgomery back. Monongai doesn't really have to, he doesn't have to outproduce somebody like Jahmyr Gibbs to get a good run here.
Right. I'll tell you, we're entering a new term into the glossary, Bender. The Swift theorem of relativity. And what it states is that the longer a coaching staff plays with DeAndre Swift, the less they like him. And it seems to have held true wherever he goes.
So, fact.
That's fact. Wherever he goes, Monongai, he was inevitable. PPR, Sutton or Watson? Wow, Watson, good matchup this week.
Sutton with a good matchup this week also against the Raiders.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll lean Sutton here as the X receiver.
It should be Sutton.
I like Watson. I really do. But to me, Watson is just, I mean, it's much more of a boomer bust kind of a thing.
I can't believe Watson's even a thing. He was supposed to. His dad said he wasn't going to play, right? Like his dad told us.
My dad told me I wasn't allowed to play, so I'll show him right now.
So that was a lie. Your dad's a liar, dude. I would have drafted him in a couple of leagues.
Your dad's a liar.
Yeah. Do I risk waiting for Kincaid status or roll Ferg? Brother, Thursday question. We're gonna be live tomorrow, and we're gonna be live on the air, Sirius XM, 6 to 8 p.m. And we'll tell you. We'll straight up tell you, hey, you know what? No, not like if Kincaid's not a full participant, I'm not even talking limited, full participant on Thursday, you just start Ferg. Because Ferg's a pretty good matchup. Like Ferg's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
We did these ones. Need a defense this week. Steelers, Commanders, Vikings, Colts. Let me check the old rankaroos, but I had a hard time ranking the Steelers because they're a good team. And the Ravens, but they're playing the Ravens, which we wouldn't usually play them versus the Ravens. But do we go away from the Ravens? I probably just start the Commanders against
JJ McCarthy. Yeah, me too.
That's where we're going. Tesla, Mitchell, or Thomas Jr. need two.
You know what? It's going to hurt to say it, but I'm benching Thomas Jr.
No, I can't. Yeah, I mean, I guess you got to.
You're talking about the number 1 receiver for the Jets and the number 2 receiver for Detroit.
And the number 4 receiver for the Jaguars.
Number 9 receiver for the Jaguars.
He came out, I'll tell you, he came out last week and was behind Jacoby and Parker Washington. If Parker Washington's out, though, I might just start PTJ. If Parker Washington's in, bench PTJ. Got to do it. We did that one already. Full PPR, Loveland, Strange. Been staring Strange. Should I drop Loveland? Been starting Strange. Keep them both, but start Strange this week against the Colts, right? He's got, 4 and 5. He's only had 4 and 5 targets the last 2 weeks, but 98 yards, scored a touchdown. He's like it's a small sample size. I think some people are getting a little of their skis on Strange on the social media, but he's a fine matchup.
It's just a favorable matchup. I mean, the Colts are giving up like the 4th most fantasy points per game to the tight end. They're ranked 26th in DVOA against the position, so I don't mind that.
The reason I don't drop Strange is that if he doesn't do well against the Colts, he's got the Broncos on the schedule and then the Colts again. Not that that matters, but you're going to want somebody else for that Broncos game probably at least. Ingram or Fannin. Fannon's he's got an okay matchup versus the Titans. Ingram has a good matchup, but Ingram was just not playing enough. I don't know. I think I just go Fannin.
So you think that everything that we watch with Denver and how much they utilized Ingram this past week and how many times Chris Collinsworth said the Joker role?
Bobby Wagner was stuck in cement this week, man. It was. We've been saying it all year though, Howard. He is a traffic cone against the pass. So I don't know. It might have just been matchup. Also, Mercedes Lewis is out. So
well, there you go. I mean, listen, I would probably lean Fannin. I hate trusting in Shedeur Sanders, though. I really do hate trusting
Fannin. Yeah, me too. Of course we hate that. But Fannin, since Sanders took over, he leads the team in routes, targets, receptions, yards, touchdowns, broken tackles, and passer rating well targeted. So at least we know that Shedeur likes him.
So he's king of the dipshits then, because, I mean, you're not really setting the bar high when you're saying
the one-eyed man in the land of the blind. And don't worry, Browns fans. Deshaun Watson, his practice window was activated. So you have something to look forward to, I think, whatever that means. I thought the clown car was empty, Howard, but there was one
more in the trunk.
Well, actually, Bailey Zappi's still waiting in the trunk, but everybody is piled out of the back seat. So there you go. Full PPR. RBs are Kyron, Chase Brown, Woody, Dowdle, Corum, Dowdle again. On by picked up Bam. Should I flex Bam or Woody? My defense. I'm going Woody. I mean, we also don't know if Trey Benson's going to go next yet, Michael. So we got to wait on that. Wait on that.
I'd probably go Woody. You're going to run him on the outside there this week. I think he's probably, it's a tough matchup against the Kansas City run defense, but if you take it to the outside instead of worrying about between the tackles where you're going to see Karlaftis and Chris Jones, it actually is a little bit more favorable. So I'll use Marks.
Yep. Love it. Look at who it is. It's Albert, dude. What's up, Albert? How you been, man?
Who's Albert?
Little love for the best ball cheat sheet.
Oh.
Need 2, McLaurin, Myers, Higgins, Strange, Tootin, Quorum.
Is that Jaden or T?
We got to know if that's Jaden or T. I'm starting McLaurin, though, out of that crew, I think. McLaurin.
And probably Myers as well.
Yeah. Myers is going to be in that Godwin role. I like that a lot. Need 1 rest of season. Godwin, Mitchell, Jaden Higgins, or Mechie. Who do I pick? I mean, rest of season's got to be Godwin. Got to be Godwin for me rest of season.
Probably, yeah.
I do like Jaden Higgins.
That fighting solves everything. Yes, it does.
And we know who that user is, which is funny. Fighting solves everything. Let us know what your username used to be. That's the regular, which makes it even funnier. Would you drop Sharps for Spears?
Why?
To spot start Spears to get his 5.1 points.
I mean, I just think you're spinning your wheels here. I don't think it does anything for you.
Yeah, I mean, Spears has been catching like 4 passes a game, but Sharps scores a touchdown every week, basically. So I'll probably just stick with Sharps. Sharps has the higher upside as a handcuff, right? If Kenneth Walker goes down, now all of a sudden, like if Pollard goes down, we don't move Spears up like drastically, but if Walker goes down, we move Sharps way up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Amon-Ra, if he's cleared and comes back to play, do you think it would mean he's really ready to play full, or would they play games, have him just be a decoy? I don't know. It's a low ankle sprain. I thought those were extinct. I haven't heard anyone say low ankle sprain in a long time.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, we don't have, listen, we can give you our best guesses here, but we don't have the inside information of like, the coach is not telling us. He's going to be like, oh, hey, Coop, Howard, just so you know,
you're going to be a decoy.
We're going to use him as a decoy.
Yeah.
Like, he's either playing or he's not playing. Could he be used as a decoy? Sure, of course he could. Could he also be 100% ready to go and seize 15 targets? Yes, he could.
Not many coaches do that. AJ Brown was the classic decoy. AJ Green was the classic decoy, but we haven't seen that in a while. Any reason to pick up Jaden Higgins if I also have Nico? Yeah, I mean, like depends who you're dropping, but we have plenty of guys where we start Cortland Sutton and Troy Franklin, or we start AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Like we do that a lot of times. Bo Nix over Jaden Daniels rest of the season, just because we don't know if Jaden's ever going to come back. Before we get you out of here, let's jump in. We did take a look at some matchups. There are some teams we want to avoid and some teams we want to target. Where do you want to start on that, Bender? What position?
I mean, what position?
Yeah, because it's kind of different. You know,
let's just go through QB, wide receiver. We'll start at the top.
Okay. So for us, like, and again, I took a look at both just raw PPR points, also DVOA kind of combined to pull a few of the teams that are top in both. Number one, if you can avoid Houston, you got to do it. They're playing the Cardinals, the Raiders, and the Chargers during fantasy playoffs. And I got to say, are any of those guys on those teams like so far above the line that they're unsittable, besides maybe Brock Bowers? Is McConkey unsittable at this stage, or would he be in the matchup based decisions there?
I mean, he would probably be in the matchup decisions, I think, depending on who's on your roster, right? I mean, that's obviously.
Yeah.
But like not an ideal situation going up against Houston.
Yeah. So you got to make other plans there. Also, Cleveland's been very good against the pass. There are a couple defenses that are just flat out good. Like against everything. Cleveland, Seattle, the Rams. I'm trying to stay away from those teams. Seattle's been very tough against the pass. So look out for them. They've got the Colts, they've got the Rams, they've got the Panthers. And the Chargers have been pretty good against the pass as well, based on everything I'm seeing. So be very careful with those matchups. Again, when it's Dallas versus the Chargers, you're probably just going to start Lamb and Pickens no matter what. You're going to start Nico Collins. So I'm not sure that one matters as much. Anyone else that you're kind of not loving for matchup wise, Bender, for the pass that comes to mind? Like, it's kind of the Texans are one that I just don't really want to start.
Yeah, the Texans are just a team that you don't want to. No, I don't think so. I mean, you know what? I'll tell you what, Seattle, if they get Julian Love back this week,
yes,
Right? Because if he comes back this week, then he's got like a full game under his belt before he moves forward. And I'll tell you what, I think it's a tough spot. It's definitely a tough spot. You know what I'll also say? After watching them the other night, the Patriots defense, that's another one that's just, I mean, granted they were gunning for players. They were, I'm not going to say they were headhunting, but they were like, I mean, they were sticking hits. Like, I was like, where'd Ronnie Lott come from?
Yeah, they
like
were
all of a sudden there was like popping people left and right. And I think that they're kind of feeling it right now also. So I might try to avoid, I mean, I know they've got kind of a soft matchup schedule coming up, but there are players who I don't really want to, don't want to deal with.
Dude, when Gunnar Olszewski got hit, immediately everyone's like ball, but then everyone went quiet at the game. And then this one dude, there's always that one dude. He goes, "Welcome back, Gunnar." I was like, all right, dude. I was like, please. First of all, he definitely can't hear you right now, but please don't do that. Teams we're looking to target in the past game. We're looking at Dallas. Dude, Dallas has been a good matchup. Washington has been a great matchup. The Jets traded away Sauce. They're good.
Yep.
The Bengals, we want to target
always.
them. Yeah. So like you're looking at some of those fringe guys when teams are going up against the Jets. I mean, the Jaguars, the Saints, and the Patriots, there could be some streaming plays in there because it's like those teams have guys that are playing and getting targets, but they might be on the wire, looking at guys like Devon Vele and Keishon Butte. So keep an eye on that for your schedule moving forward. Running backs, we want to avoid Denver, avoid Seattle. We're going to avoid the Rams, avoid the Browns, right?
Yeah.
You can throw to running backs against Seattle, though. You guys have been kind of on that, right?
Yeah, you could definitely throw to running backs in Seattle. But I mean, again, you're not going to sit Jonathan Taylor. No. You're not going to sit Kyron Williams.
No. So,
right? I mean, I'm not going to sit Josh Jacobs against Denver. I'm still going to play him, but I'll give thought about not using Travis Etienne. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably where you start drawing those lines.
Yeah.
Targeting, we're looking teams playing the Giants, teams playing the Bengals, the Bills. Definitely going there. The thing is with those schedules, there's not a lot of guys there's really not a lot of running backs in general you can just pick up and stream. But, Chris Rodriguez, if he's on the wire, him against the Giants, first week of your playoffs, I think he could be all right there. For tight ends, I actually put up a whole, if you go to the waiver wire article, we switch over from yin yang to matchup based this time of year. We're not stashing guys for upside anymore. We're going to matchup based. So there's a whole chart in there that gives you all the matchups for the rest of the season, and you can kind of pick and choose. There's really only 3 teams we're staying away from: Buffalo, Philly, and Houston. Those are the big ones. There are some other bad matchups, but those are like the top 3 teams in both DVOA and points allowed against the tight end. So try and stay away from that. We're targeting the Bengals, obviously. We're targeting the Jaguars. The Colts have been bad against the tight end. The Commanders have been bad against the tight end. And the Seahawks have been bad, but don't get fooled by that if Julian Love is back. That's the one thing, because he's a game changer. This is a Pro Bowl caliber player, and he covers the tight end a lot of the time. So we're going to update the rankings based on that. But Bender, anything else you want to hit him with before we get him out of here?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Probably. I mean, if I had one thing left to say here about week 14 coming up, I can assure you guys that it would be
adios, turd nuggets.